certainty of death, small chance of success. What are we waiting for?
Fellas, I feel this is my lucky day.
Brilliant.
Rango live with Malcolm Lane.
Welcome to another episode of Rankum with the specialised remix version of the intro from JP.
What? That was Wolf.
I don't know. Someone was.
I lied. It was me.
Anyway,
You're at the first
here to talk about Richard Linklater movie. It's just one of those rare times where Richard Linklater had two movies released in a really short succession, which meant he got to be on the poll quicker than I normally put it other than we use options. I've got Dan here. Dan, how's it going?
Pretty good. You know, I'm a big Richard Linklater fan. I think I voted one of his movies as my favorite movie of the 2010s. So I would say that makes me a pretty big fan of Richard Linklater. He has put two movies out in quick succession this year, and I've seen both of them. So I'd be interested if either one of them come up tonight.
We've also got JPO here. JPO, how's it going?
I can't believe Where'd You Go Burning It is your favorite movie of the 2010s, Dan. That's weird. But yeah, I love Richard Linklater. I thought we were going to just rank his acting roles. He was in Spy Kids and Beavis and Butthead Do America. He's in Blaze with Ethan Hawke. But I guess we'll just talk about his directing films.
Hey, he's in one of his own films, too, that he directed.
I know. He's in the beginning of Slacker, yeah. And he's in Waking Life and Before Sunrise and Burning in very small parts.
But last but not least, we got Wolfman. Wolfman, how's it going?
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I'm also a big Richard Linklater fan. A lot of his films are very personal to me because of stuff like I've dealt with that. Like him and I really connect on certain things. So it's really, I really love his filmography, and most of his films are really good to great. Say what you will about Where'd You Go, Bernadette. It has my favorite actress in there. She's really great. But that's like the only movie I can think of his that's like a full-on dud. But yeah.
You like Kristen Wiig?
Kristen Wiig?
You said your favorite actress. Yeah, she's
no. The other actress in it, dude.
Oh, Judy Greer.
Kate Blanchett, I believe.
Megan Mullally?
You're good. You're good, JPO. You're good,
JPO. Anyway, how Rankin works is you go around in a panel and nominate a movie you think belongs on the top 12 list of Richard Linklater's filmography, and then everyone else will say yes or no to it, and if it gets a majority of yeses, it'll make the list. Because it's only a 4-person panel, it's going to come down to the other 3 people on the panel if it makes the list. I did try to get another person for this, but unfortunately they were sadly really busy, so they couldn't. But Dan, what is the first movie you're going to bring up?
Yeah, I'm going to bring up that movie I alluded to in my little bit message there. My favorite movie of the 2010s. It's a movie that really struck me quite a bit about the relationship with the wife and the various, having different husbands and having different men in the family and having a boy grow up with a lot of turmoil in his life. And I'll be honest, I've never seen a movie filmed like this ever before. And I thought this is one of the most innovative movies I had ever seen up till that point. And that is Boyhood. Boyhood to me is an incredible movie. I believed it was better than Birdman that year. Hot take, whatever you want to call it. I say Boyhood was better than Birdman that year. I think it was a better movie. Consider it took 12 years to make. Is the actor, has he really done a lot in his career since then? No. The main actor? No. But Ethan Hawke is good in it, and Patricia Arquette is really good in it. And I really like the movie. I think it takes a great filmmaker to do something, be patient, film a movie 2 weeks out of a year for 12 years. That's incredible to me. So I'm Boyhood.
JPO, what do you say about Boyhood?
Eller Coultern's other credit is The Circle with Tom Hanks and the chick from Harry Potter. So maybe he'll come back. Who knows? Absolutely yes to Boyhood here. I was a big fan of it here. I do feel like he stole my idea But no, but I did have this idea growing up. I was like, it would be really cool instead of recasting, a kid. Like they took their time and like literally, I kind of like thought about this premise like at one point in my life, and then evidently, probably as I was thinking of this premise, I think he was probably already in the middle of doing it because of how long it took to make this. And I think it's great. I think it's really good. Like I said, there's some great divorce stuff in there as well about the family and just the kid growing up. And again, slice of life, literally almost an entire life to a degree. Hawk's great again. Fisher Arquette. So yeah, big old yes. Glad everyone stayed healthy and alive because I would have sucked at that something that changed halfway through.
I hear he's got a second one in the works, but it's only 7 years. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
But
I would love to see someone else like try this. Yeah.
What do you say about Boyhood?
Yeah, Boyhood. Great film. This was one that really, personally, I already talked about it earlier. How Richard Linklater has made a lot of personal films for me, and this was one of them. This is maybe the most personal film I've seen from him that like really connects to me personally, because I have divorced parents, and being that child of divorce and seeing the way that is like just in real life just really is haunting. And this was a movie that when I watched it, I looked at it and I said, I wish this is what I want. I wish that I could have this, because you see, yeah, they don't love each other in that way anymore, but they will be there for their son's graduation. They will be there for, other events. They'll be there. They'll be able to be in the same room together. They'll be able to talk to one another. And my dad is so stuck up that he would not ever be willing to do something like that. And I one time tried to show him this movie to see if he would maybe get any sort of affection out of it, and he just didn't catch anything that I was talking about, and it was just like, that's it, really? That's the movie you were hyping up and all that, and everything. But I absolutely loved it, and it's one of those movies that kind of inspired me to make film because of the way that this really personally touched me. And so it's an absolute yes from me that Boyhood should be on here.
Yeah, that's an easy yes for me. Like I love Boyhood. I think it's pretty good. It's definitely been a while since I have seen it. So, but I do remember loving it the first time. And he does actually have another movie in the works similar to this. He's doing a version of the Broadway musical "Merrily We Roll Along," which takes place over 20 years actually. So it's actually over 20 years. It's the production started in 2019, so probably not going to see it until 2040. So, but it's got Paul Mescal, Ben Platt, and Beanie Feldstein in it. But
I saw that on Letterboxd. I didn't know that's what that was. Cool.
Yeah, but that Boyhood is going to make the list. JPO, what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
Yeah, one of my favorite trilogies is not something when you think trilogy, like big blockbusters. I'm talking, of course, the Before, Sunset, Sunrise, all that jazz. I'm gonna go with the middle one as the first one to mention here. The follow up of they did only spend that one night together here. They meet up years later. They're both in relationships. He's written a book about it, but those feelings are still there. And again, that what could have been, could we still make it work? I just think the chemistry between these two, Hawk and Delpy, is fantastic here. The writing's on points. This is my favorite of the three, which is hard to say, but I think that sparks there even more. I think the direction's there even more in the script. So Before Sunset is my first nomination.
Wolf, what do you say about Before Sunset?
Yeah, I own the whole trilogy here on Criterion. Nice. I absolutely adore it. I actually I binge watched them all. I mean, I've seen I saw the first two a while back, but I never saw the third one. So I decided, you know what, on Valentine's Day, I'm just going to, since I'm single and I don't have a girlfriend to be with, I'm just going to binge the entire trilogy on Valentine's Day. And I did that. I just watched the entire trilogy. And after coming out of a relationship, it brings up really interesting kind of questions that are so real and so honest. And Richard Linklater really understands, I think, relationships almost more than any other director, at least working today. It feels so raw, so real, and before sunrise or before we're doing before sunset, right? Okay, so yeah, that one. So
Second one.
yeah, so they're and all of them are great. And while it is like one big overarching story, this one is 3 separate movies. So probably all 3 will be on there. And yeah, this is a really great middle chapter, the shortest of all of them, I think, too, which is interesting. But it's just you're never bored. And this is a movie that's just literally just people talking the entire time, just going on this walk together, doing all this other stuff, just to bring up questions on, what if they could have ended up together? What would have happened if they actually would have stayed and then all on that, if they would have come back and on that train and everything? It's really, really beautiful. So yeah, it's definitely a yes.
Yeah, I finally got around to the Before trilogy. It was either last year or early this year, I love all 3 parts. Before Sunset might be my least favorite of the 3. It's still really good. I just and yeah, so it's going to be an easy yes for me. And yeah, there's a good chance the other 2 are going to come up as well. So, Ted, what do you say about Before Sunset?
Yeah, if it had when it came back around to me, this was going to be my pick. If somebody hadn't already picked it, great pick, JPO. I think this is my favorite. This is actually my favorite of the trilogy as well. I just feel like there's more going on with the characters, and you get to learn about the characters and their relationship and stuff in this one, whether on that walk in Brussels or wherever it is. I think it's like in Brussels or something. The first one's in Paris. Yeah, I really, really like this one. I got to know the characters better in this one than I did the previous one, and definitely better than I did in the third part. So, great pick, JPO.
That Before Sunset is going to make the list. And actually, just quickly, that Merrily We Roll Along movie I talked about is produced by Blumhouse of all studios.
But they're going back to, I guess, Whiplash kind of stuff where it's not necessarily.
Yeah. But Wolf, what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
So the next movie I'm going to bring up is, I talked about, personal movies here, and probably other than Boyhood, the other one that's most personal for me is School of Rock. And I'm going to bring that one up. And the reason why School of Rock is so personal is not just because I grew up with that movie, but also because it is the movie that actually made me fall in love with music in general. Like I actually, I wasn't really aware of music that much. I wasn't really into it. And then I watched School of Rock, and music is now my second biggest passion, right behind movies, because of School of Rock. And I owe a lot of credit to Richard Linklater for that. Jack Black is so good in this movie, delivers a phenomenal performance. I was Golden Globe nominated, but he was really fantastic. The whole ensemble of kids are all fantastic in here. On the Blu-ray, they have this commentary spelled with a K, and you can watch the commentary because it's all the kids at their kid ages doing the commentary, and it's really adorable. The sweetest thing ever. But yeah, they're all great. The music in this film is awesome, and yeah, this is probably my personal favorite Linklater for personal reasons, and I really adore it. So, yeah, School of Rock.
I'm not as high on School of Rock as other people are. I still think it's a really good movie. I still really love it. And I always still go back to it. And it's one of those ones I've been kind of surprised, but then again, I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the works, but that they haven't tried doing a adaptation of the Broadway musical that they've done a School of Rock recently. Which is, I think, is really interesting. But but I think School Rock is a good movie, and yeah, Jack Black is great in it. And yeah, but so it's still an easy yes for me. Dan, what do you say about School of Rock?
Yeah, I love Jack Black in this movie. I'm a big fan of rock and roll, and this really champions rock and roll music and the classics and stuff like that. And I love Mr. Schneebly. That's my main man from Survivor and the White Lotus. White, what's his name? White.
Mike White.
Mike White.
Mike.
Yeah, he's in there before he became famous. Really became.
He wrote this too.
Yeah, and with Survivor and the White Lotus, so it's funny to see him with blonde hair, and he's kind of skinny and kind of dorky looking and stuff like that, and as Mr. Schneebly, so that's kind of funny. And I love Joan Arquette in here as well. She's really cute as the principal.
Cusack?
John Cusack. Joan Cusack. That's it.
Yeah.
As the principal. This is just, if you can't help but love this movie. I mean, it's one of those movies. It just pulls on the heartstrings and stuff. And if you're a fan of rock and roll, this movie really champions rock and roll music. So yeah, I love School Rock. So big yes for me.
And JP, what do you say about School of Rock?
Man, if you don't like this movie, then read between the lines, man. Wait, I did it wrong. I did this. What is this? This means nothing. Read between the lines, man. No, this movie is fun. This movie is great. It came out at the right time for me, but still, I think it's very rewatchable. It's a great movie, like, you know, you could show in like a classroom too, like, you know, middle school or high school. Jack Black is so charming. I think this really, you know, things like Shallow Hal helped. This solidified him as like could be a top tier, movie star, comedic guy. It's so charming. You love it. It's got some great jokes, and then you're so in love with it too that like you don't even want to leave during like the end credits, or like they're just like hanging out singing that last song in the classroom and whatnot. Like you're like almost every time too. I'm like there to like the very last, you know, time to go home now. Like, you know, and it's good stuff. Yeah, big yes. I love this movie. Yeah, probably easily the one I've seen the most of Linklater because like it's so rewatchable.
But yeah, School Rock is going to make the list. On to me, I'm going to try for something a little bit different. I'm going to go for one of his few animated movies he's done, and I'm going to go for this one. I don't know how it's going to go, but I'm going to go for the movie called Waking Life. This is one of those weird, this is where he was kind of experimenting with the whole rotoscoping thing that he perfected later on in the Scanner Darkly and that, but like this is just one of those weird sort of philosophical. I can't say the word.
Philosophical.
But, that's the one. But it's like about the nature of dreams, reality, like lucid dreams, consciousness, meaning, life, and all that. And really enough, you could argue it's connected to the Before trilogy because even Hawk and does appear as his character from the Before trilogy in this movie. But it's only a really small part of it. But I think it's this really interesting movie that I kind of connected with. I don't know why, but it is. But Dan, what do you say about Waking Life?
Ironically enough, Malcolm, I'm sorry, it's one of the few Linklaters that I have not seen. I just never got around to watching it. I'm sorry, buddy.
That's all good. JPO, what do you say about Waking Life?
So I appreciate both, one, your effort of trying to dominate it, and two, the movie itself, because it is something a little different when, you know, the color scheme and everything that they're doing on top of the actors here. Sometimes I didn't feel to be super necessary. Like it felt like more gimmick than anything. Like could have just been an anthology film if it wanted to be. I've only seen it the once. I didn't love it, and I do have just things higher than it. But it is an interesting watch for sure. I might rewatch at some point.
And Wolf, what do you say about Waking Life?
I have not seen this one, but I have seen some other animated Richard Linklater movies I'm sure are going to be brought up as well, and those ones I really like, but maybe I like this one. I don't know, but I haven't seen it yet, so I can't say.
Oh yeah, I mean, I kind of had a feeling the other one that I referenced was probably going to come up later anyway. But Dan, what is your next nomination?
Yeah, I want Richard Linklater is one of those prolific directors where he comes up with a lot of movies in a short span of time. He had one last year, a movie that played on Netflix called Hitman, starring Glenn Powell, where Glenn Powell goes undercover as this boyfriend of this girl, and he has to pretend to be all these other types of characters as well during the course of the movie. It's a detective story. It's a kind of a FBI undercover kind of thing, but it's really funny. Adria Arjona, I believe, is the girlfriend in it. And it's really fun. It's a really fun movie. You could tell Glenn Powell's having a blast playing all these different types of characters and stuff. And it really put him on the map as far as, I mean, he was in like Top Gun Maverick and stuff. But this is the movie to me that really put him on the map, is like, okay, Glenn Powell is a leading man, and he's going to be someone we're going to be watching in the future. And he's got a movie and a TV show out at the same time right now. So he's a guy to keep your eye out for, Glenn Powell. So I'm going to go for Hitman.
JPO, what do you say about Hitman?
Another big yes for me as well here. And I was really anticipating this movie because I was a Glenn Powell fan for a minute, from a kind of an okay TV show called Scream Queens. I always felt he was a standout of that, and yeah, like you said, you had Maverick and other things, and this did help solidify. Like, okay, yeah, exactly what I thought he was. He absolutely is, and so I'm excited for Running Man. I haven't seen Chad Powers yet, but I'm excited for that. Yeah, no, really good screenplay too. It's from both Powell and him. Powell and him worked previously on Everybody Wants Some, so I guess they developed a project from that. And it's an interesting screenplay too, because I don't know if I love everything they did it story wise, but it does keep you. It kind of shocks you, I think, at some point with some of the decisions those characters make. And Powell's fantastic, gets to shine on multiple levels, and yeah, it's a dope, interesting flick. So yeah, but yes.
Wolf, what do you say about Hitman?
Hitman was a hit with me. I really thought this was a fun movie. This is the film that not only kind of introduced me to her, but also has now made Adria Arjona my new celebrity crush, because she is arguably the most gorgeous woman in Hollywood right now, and very beautiful, and she does a really excellent job in this. Glenn Powell, he is somebody who, when I watched other films that he did before this, I did not like him at all, and I was just thinking to myself, okay, you are someone I want to punch in the face. Like, I'm sorry. Like he just has that look. He's just that kind of this annoying kind of person in almost every movie. But in this one, he shows a range I've actually not seen him go to before. So I thought he was actually really good in this. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll give you another chance, Glenn, after watching Hitman. And yeah, like, does Richard Linklater have a life? Does he have a life outside of movies? Because like he is releasing, he did this and last year, and then he released 2 movies this year, and then now he's working on like that 20-year project. I'm like, dude, do you have a life like outside of movies? Like, what is going on? So yeah, but this is a really fun one, so it's a yes for me.
Just put it out there, Glenn Powell, there's a good chance Glenn Powell's going to come up a few other times. He's been in Glenn Powell's been in about like 3 or 4 Richard Linklater movies.
Oh shit, I don't remember him.
And apparently, Glenn Powell's first movie was Spy Kids 3D. It's Long Fingered Boy.
Wow.
But yeah, Hitman is definitely one of those movies that was a nice surprise last year. I quite enjoyed it a lot. And yeah, so it was easy yes for me as well. It's one of those movies I was considering rewatching for this, but I was like, no, I still love it. Like, it's one of those ones. There really wasn't anything that I felt like I need to rewatch, because I knew I loved a lot of what I had here. So, but I think Hitman's going to make the list. JPO, what is your next nomination?
Yeah, it's something actually more of a recent watch in like the last like year or two. One of his classics, Dazed and Confused. Again, just a great ensemble here. Made me really wonder what happened to Rory Cochrane. He got very serious later on in his career. But yeah, you get, of course, McConaughey talking his classic all right comes from this here. I love me some Adam Goldberg. Yeah, so this is just what I had a lot of fun with here. Ben Affleck with his battles. What more do you want?
Wolf, what do you say about Dazed and Confused?
Dazed and Confused. Yes, I love this one. One of the most rewatched. I actually have it on in the background right now. One of the most rewatched Richard Linklater movies for me. And this is one that's personal for him because this is him tackling a time that he was very familiar with. Like he said, a lot of these people were like his friends. He grew up in this kind of environment. So this is one that's very personal for him. And also I see so much depth in it because some people are like, oh, this is just a bunch of druggies being druggies and hanging out and doing stuff. But there's like, especially once Matthew McConaughey pops in there, that's when the themes of the film actually really kick in to gear, which is about youth and about art and about, in this time when you could capture that, just innocence of just being able to live free and do whatever you want. It's like enjoying that moment before they take it away from you. And it's just like having that time to just be able to be your full self without any kind of person trying to knock you down or say otherwise. And it's really, really great. And just showing definitely a different time in life when things were a lot more, open than they are today. So I thought it was just absolutely fascinating, and I would honestly be very confused if Dazed and Confused was not on this list. So it's a yes for me.
I don't know. It's one of those. The Dazed and Confused is one of those ones where there's it's really more mixed than you might think because I'm honestly not the biggest fan of Dazed and Confused myself. Like, I just found it really boring and just it's just not one that I connected with at all. But I'm still going to give it a slight yes, just because it still sneaks into my top 12, but barely. Dan, what do you say about Dazed and Confused?
Yeah, this reminded me of kind of like my late teens, early 20s. I kind of got into coaching. I got hanging around with guys, going to bars, drinking, having a good old time, having a smoke once in a while and just going out, just hanging out, talking and BSing with buddies. And so this kind of world that he was creating in this movie with Ben Affleck and the whole crew kind of resonated with me in a way. Is it the greatest movie ever? No. Is it the worst movie ever? No. It's in between. It's one of those in between kind of movies. But he has made movies that are better than this, and he's made movies that are worse than this. So you could be hard pressed to find other movies that you wouldn't want to put on this list over this movie. So I would definitely say this is a movie. If you're going to talk about his top 12, Dazed and Confused should be on the list for me.
Dazed and Confused is going to make the list.
How come we didn't rate it on Letterboxd, Malcolm? Since you saw it, we didn't rate it. What's up with that?
Well, the last time I watched it was
because he gives it 0 stars. That's why.
No. Last time I watched it, that was before I started actually rating movies on Letterboxd. So I haven't really started rating. I actually rating movies like in the last couple of years. So.
Yeah. All right. Makes sense.
Right now.
I'm not going to rate it. If I'll probably get around to rewatching it. Then I'll rate.
I was never that shy. When I did my Letterboxd, I went back and rated everything I remember seeing, like what I thought. That's just me.
Yeah. Sometimes
some people. Not to interrupt you, when they do a show like this, they don't want to give away their hand of what they're voting for or what they're ranking it, so they don't vote.
Not said that wasn't his input. That wasn't his thing, though.
But I'm just saying, some people do that though. That's all. I know
Oh, sure.
Malcolm wasn't. Yeah, I know.
Oh,
Malcolm-
look, I'm not ashamed. Look, I'm not ashamed of rating something I've watched if I'm watching it for a show. Like I do that all the time. It just shows how long it's been since I've actually watched Days Confused, because if I watched it before I actually started rating it, and it's one of those ones
I
like
was more just curious because, like, I've never been like, if I saw it like 10 years ago, I would still rate it. But like, I get it. We were different.
Yeah, no, I get you. What I was actually going to say is I want to if I want to rewatch something before I rate it again, just because.
But you didn't rate it the first time.
Well, yeah, that's
You can't say it again.
anyway. We're
the
off the
first-
tangent.
At the end of the day, though, ratings and actual like star ratings to me are arbitrary. It's really the reviews that matter. Like because the thing is star ratings can always change and on a dime, but I feel like actual reviews and what a person thinks of a film won't change a whole heck of a lot. Like sometimes it does, sometimes it's like a whole 180, but most of the time the thoughts still mostly stay the same. While like the star ratings, they can just shift and change all the time. So it's just all right. Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I mean, but Wolf, what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
So the next movie I'm going to bring up is another one that I've not really seen it in a while, but I want to see just how it goes when bringing this movie up. Since I brought up a Jack Black movie my last time, I'm going to bring up another one. This is Bernie, one that
You stole mine.
Oh dang!
You stole my next one. That's all right, though. That's all right.
But Bernie is a really when I saw it at the time, it really kind of blew me away. This case about this like basically like the nicest criminal ever, you could say. He's like kind of like a sweetheart that like everyone loves, but he's also like doing stuff illegal. And Jack Black, this is maybe the best performance he's ever given in this film, and I think that he definitely should have gotten I think he got a Globe nomination, but I'd have to look at the nominees that year. I could have argued an Oscar nomination for him. I thought he was really, really outstanding in this. And Matthew McConaughey was really good. Yeah, the whole cast here, Shirley MacLaine, all of them did a really excellent job. And there's this one that is just such an unbelievable true story, but so really wickedly funny and just dark, but in the best way possible. So yeah, Barney is the next one I'm going to bring up.
Bernie, I actually quite like. Funny enough, I think I watched this when we did Jack Black movies on Rankin that time around.
Another one you don't have rated, Bernie on Letterboxd.
Yeah, Malcolm, get to it. Like a star.
I'll wear it half a star if you're not careful. Anyway,
I didn't make the movie. That would just be mean to Bernie.
Anyway, I think Bernie is a great movie. Once again, when we last did that Jake Blank episode of Rankin, that was a few years ago now.
Let's do that again. I want that upside.
I'm definitely, once again, it's another one of those movies that I did consider to be watched for this, but I loved it a lot. I think it's a really good movie, and I think Jack Black is great in it, and I think it's just one of those movies I think does not get a lot of doesn't get talked about enough that I think should be talked about more. But Dan, what do you say about Bernie?
Yeah, I absolutely love Bernie. Bernie Tita is a real person. This is based on a real person. But the irony of it is it kind of takes the Music Man story and kind of it's like a real life version of like the Music Man in a lot of ways. And so he ends up doing the play the Music Man in the movie. So it's kind of like weird that it is like a story that's basically taken the story of the Music Man, but it's a real life story and stuff. And Matthew McConaughey plays the sheriff and stuff like that, or the lawyer or whatever. And it just like Michael said, like Shirley MacLaine, she's funny as the old bat in the movie and stuff. It really showed that Jack Black had some range as an actor, if you ask me. This is the one role that said, wow, this guy can do a lot of different things than just do comedy. You know, he can sing and he can dance, he can do stuff. I absolutely love this movie. And like Michael said, I think this is very, very underrated, or somebody said underrated. I wish more people would see this movie. It's such a good movie. So big yes for me, for Bernie.
And JPO, what do you say about Bernie?
No, I'm with the Bernie love here. Yeah, I would say it's one of those nitpicky, not underrated, underseen. I think, unfortunately, I think because I almost want to say this is a Netflix movie. At least I feel like that's where I saw it.
No, it came out in theaters.
Was it another theater? Okay, so maybe it was just but it was just one of those like it's a smaller movie, you know, small cast besides him, Shirley and McConaughey. Like it's mostly like unknowns on top of that and whatnot. So
the real people that were in the guy's life were in the movie. That's what's funny about it.
That's what I mean. So I think maybe just like little things like that just made it where like not a shit ton of people like kind of have seen it, but I feel like the ones that have like this is a cool, unique, good performance by Jack Black. I'd love to see him stretch more. Like, you know, don't get me wrong, I love him in like Jumanji and etc. But like, I would love to see him try a little more stretching like this because I think he's capable. I think just like, you know, a Sandler and a lot of comedic actors, he's got the skills. Just a big yes. I love this performance by Jack Black. It's another. I think Linklater has the right kind of touch to make it not overly like comedic or overly dramatic. It's just the right kind of like sensitivities for this kind of screenplay.
But Bernie is going to make
real quick. I apologize. The funny part, if you stay through the credits, you get to hear the interviews of the real people that played themselves, and they have nothing but bad things to say about the guy. They have nothing but good things, even though he was a criminal. It was so funny that they all loved him. Isn't that weird?
He was the nicest criminal in history.
It's such an odd story, you know.
It is.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about it until this movie.
He found it. Linklater found it in like a column in a newspaper or something like that. He found the story, and he's "Oh God, I got to turn." And he reached out to Jack Black and Matthew McConaughey and said, "Hey, do you guys want to do this?" And they were like, "Yeah," you know, kind of thing. Sorry.
That's all good. But with that, it's background to me for my next nomination, and based on conversations that were happening earlier, I do not know how this is going to go now, but I really enjoy this movie, but I really did enjoy Where'd You Go, Bernadette? And it's one of those movies like I don't know why this movie connected with me a lot, but I thought this was a really good movie. I thought Kate Blanchett was really good as well, and it's just one of those ones like with the plot definitely being centered around like depression and sort of being like reclusive. It kind of speaks to me a lot because like when I'm not doing things like this or work, or go into the movies, I do really get out of the house and do other things. So it's one of those ones that kind of spoke me to me that way, but it's just one of those ones I think it's a really fascinating movie. It's just and I think the cast is just really good in it. So yeah, but Dan, what do you say about Where'd You Go, Bernadette?
Yeah, unfortunately, Malcolm, I'm not the biggest fan of this. I'm a big fan of Kate Blanchett, and I just felt like it kind of dragged. The further along it went, it's just dragged. You know, I was interested in it at the beginning, and then the longer it went, the worse it got for me. And I like Kate Blanchett and stuff like that. You know, so but unfortunately, I got other things higher than this on the list, so I'm gonna have to say no.
JPO, what do you say about Where'd You Go, Bernadette?
Yeah, I don't hate it, but like it's definitely it's not in my 12 personally. Great again. We made mention some of the cast before. It's got a great cast. Blanchett's definitely a fantastic leader, but yeah, it's just I don't know. Something about it kind of falls apart towards the third part of the movie.
And Wolf, what do you say about Where'd You Go, Bernadette?
Yeah, I feel kind of bad, Malcolm, because we keep on saying no to all the picks that you bring up. This is one.
Malcolm's been here before; he's used to it.
This is one though that I have seen, and I was not a fan. This to me is maybe the worst Richard Linklater film of all the ones I've seen. For me, I agree. It kind of drags on at some points, and Kate Blanchett, she's my favorite actress for a reason. She's very good in the film. Her performance is really great, but everything else surrounding her performance, not so much. So it's a no for me.
I think it's not going to make the list. But I'm fine with it. It's one of those ones like my strategy usually when there's a few movies that I know for sure it's definitely going to come up and make the list. Like I always want to try for some movies that I like, but probably won't make the list just so I get a chance to talk about them. So, but Dan, we're going to go to you next. What's the next movie you're going to bring up? And your music.
Yeah, I'm just going to bring up the first Before trilogy, Before Sunrise. Is that the one? Yeah, I just think that both of them have to be on the list. 1 and 2, at least for me. I think they're both very, very good films. I think this is one that it definitely needs to be on the list. It's a great film with 2 great performances. I just happen to like the second one better, but there's no reason why the first one shouldn't be on the list of 12 best Richard Linklater films. And so that's why I'm just going to bring this one up, get this out of the way.
JPO, what do you say about Before Sunrise?
No, absolutely. I would have done it like 1 or 2 rounds ago because I do love this movie a lot. I just didn't. I want someone else to do it. I did the first one, or I did the second one for the show, the first one for the show. So I want someone else to nominate it. So big yes for me as well. It just starts off the trilogy of falling in love with these 2 characters here, of them having this one night to spend with each other here. It starts off with really real nice. Again, these first 2 is just them. And really 99% of it. And I love the goodbyes at the end. Just works, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's all good.
Wolf, what do you say about Before Sunrise?
Yeah, when it gets around to me, I might bring up the other one here, but I love this whole trilogy. I think all of them are basically 9 to 10 out of 10 type of movies for me. This is one that was in like my top 128 of all time. I think the screenplay is fantastic. Probably one of my favorite screenplays ever. It just the dialogue all feels natural, and this really does feel honest and like real encounters that you would have when you like a real meet cute, I guess you could say. So yeah, it's really a fantastic start to what has become one of the greatest trilogies of all time. So for me, it's definitely a yes.
Yeah, Before Sunrise is easily a yes for me as well. I think it's great, and yeah, so Before Sunrise is going to make the list. JPO, we're going to go back to you as your next nomination.
All right, let me go with 2017's Last Flag Flying. This is a really great trio here of Steve Carell, Bryan Cranston, Fishburne, who was in your Burnett movie. Don't forget that. Yeah, so these 2 they all get together for the first time in a while here, because unfortunately what's happened to Steve Carell's son here. And yeah, I just think again it's 3 great actors who I think have really great, sometimes quiet moments, sometimes more with their monologues here. And yeah, I think they kind of. I don't think you're gonna have a bad Steve Carell, Bryan Cranston, and Fishburne like trio-led movie here. I think they really elevate the content here. I think it's a really good, worthwhile movie. Another underseen one to a degree, I think too. So,
Wolf, what do you say about Last Flag Flying?
Oh, this is an interesting one because I do not dislike this movie. I think this movie is good. This is a good movie. But it's one of those ones that is definitely lesser tier Richard Linklater for me. There's just some aspects of it that just don't quite work as well. All the performances were really good. Man, this is tough. I think because I have just seen his, and I know that these might not make it through, but because I just have seen both of his most recent movies, and they technically have both bumped this out of the top 12. I guess
no one saw Novell, so don't even use that as an example, though.
I did.
Oh shit, I forgot about you.
Yeah. But because of that, I think I'm gonna.
But me and Malcolm are gonna say no. We haven't seen him, so just know that like something shitty's gonna get through because of your decision right now. Remember that, Wolf. Remember what you're doing.
Well, who knows?
You're only gonna get Dan and say yes.
Hey, just because I'm saying this, for all we know, Malcolm will say yes, and for all we know, Dan will say yes.
But don't put it on them. Right now, it's in your hands, Wolf. I'm just saying, logically, you know, me and Malcolm are saying no, which means that they're not going to make it. Which means a shittier movie is going to make the list than this movie. Just say it.
I mean, but what other shittier movies? We've already gone through like all of his kind of shitty movies.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But those two aren't going to make it, so something even lesser than this will make it.
Yeah. Well,
I tried.
You know what? I will advocate because you're right, especially with the Nouvelle Vague that's not even out yet. Blue Moon is out, so like people have they can actually watch it, except for New Zealand. I don't know why your theaters hate you so much, Malcolm. But for everyone else, it's they're able to actually see it. So because of that, I will say it's very low in the 12, but I would say that it can be in the 12, just for that. So
yes, catch my movie Battleground. That's why I'm good at Battleground.
Yeah,
watch now. Both Malcolm and Dan are going to say no. It's like, oh well.
See, I was about to say is like don't put it on me because I haven't seen it. I am not going around the Last Flag Flying. Also, apparently Blue Moon was released in New Zealand November 21st, 2019. So it was released.
No.
Wait, Blue Moon was released in New Zealand when?
No.
29. Well, that's what the Google AI overview told me, but I know that's bullshit. I know that's bullshit.
I think it premiered at the new their film festival that they have over there.
Look, I don't think he would have made Blue Moon back in 2019 unless he made it and just released it. Anyway.
I don't think he would have held it on the shelves for that long.
Well, I'll tell you, it's my turn, and I have other things on the list, and I do not have Last Flag Flying on the list. I remember watching it. I have other things higher than Last Flag Flying, and I have some other things that I think deserve to be on the list. I mean, well,
not the last two, right?
Okay, the last spot. Okay, I'm going to kick something off. I'm going to kick something that I have on my personal list off the list, just because.
Yeah, that's what I did with like Nouvelle.
You feel so strongly about Last Flag Flying. Yeah. I'll put. Remember this now. When I'm trying to get something on the list, remember this.
I gotta scratch your back. All right, I feel you.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes to Last Flag Flying. I don't think it's a bad movie. It's a good movie. It has a good message. A road trip movie. And it's not horrible or anything. I just had other things above it that I wanted to see make the list. But I'm going to take something off the list and put that on my personal list just because of you, JPO.
And because we're doing this for you, JPO, you can do us a solid and on Friday watch Nouvelle Vague on Netflix. There you go.
I probably would have anyway, but sure.
Yeah, for some reason, a lot of the smaller movies take ages to come out in New Zealand. It's like Hamnet, I think is going to be a January release for me. Blue Moon it doesn't actually have a release date yet for New Zealand, but that's probably going to be January, February. Because Dan knows this. We've had conversations when it comes to Oscar movies, and it's like most of my sponsors, I can't see it. It's not out in New Zealand until next year. So yeah.
Well, hopefully early next year.
For you, Malcolm. There's some good movies, man, coming up.
Hopefully it comes out early next year, so you could be in time for the Oscars, though. Hopefully.
So if that, thanks to JPO's convincing, Last Week Flying is made the list. Wolf, what is your next nomination?
So my next nomination, I don't know how. Actually, I mentioned it earlier, so this is going to be. I was going to talk about another one, but I'm going to mention, since Dan mentioned before sunset, and then or before sunrise, and then JPO mentioned before sunset. I'll mention the other one and go before midnight is what I'm gonna say for my next nomination, because to me this one is actually my second favorite. It goes the first, and then this, and then before sunset is at the bottom, but all three are absolute perfection. But this one, I really appreciated it because this showed kind of the brutality of what a relationship can be later in life, and just kind of it's and this shows that you watch this and this shows the harsh truth of it's hard. Relationships are hard, like they're very hard, and that's what I really liked about this, and it really showed a honest and real depiction of a kind of a relationship almost falling apart, but also trying to like reconnect again. And I thought that was really beautiful, and I thought this added like age to it too, and how like you're older now and you have kids. What has your life been other than you got to marry someone and you got to have kids and you got to take care of kids? Is there stuff in your life that you never got to do that now you might not get to do because you are being a mother, you are having to be a wife, you're having to do all this, and it feels very honest, and it really brings up some very interesting questions. And I even showed this movie to my mom, and she was blown away by it and said like this is very, very true to how it is. And so yeah, utterly blown away by this movie. I thought it was a great way to cap it off, especially the last scene, really beautiful. So I'll say before midnight gets my nomination here.
This is funny enough. This is also my ranking of the Before trilogy is the same as Rolf's. Like this is my second favorite of as well. Like, I think it's but once again, as I've said before, I think all three are solid, and this is an easy yes for me. So yeah, Dan, what do you say about Before Midnight?
Well, unfortunately for you guys, this is an easy no for me because I think it's one of the Rich Linklater's worst films, and I just don't want to watch a movie where two people are arguing with each other the whole time. I don't care if it's part of this trilogy or not. That's not something I want to watch all the time. And I watch this movie and I'm like, why does he think that somebody wants to watch these two people walk around and argue with each other the whole time? To me, I did not want to watch that. I didn't care about that. And I didn't need to see that. So to me, this is one of the worst movies Richard Linklater has made in a great trilogy. It's the far, far worse than the other two, in my opinion. So I say no.
Did you like Marriage Story? Because Marriage Story does this a lot, and like
it wasn't this blatant where they're just arguing with each other. There's lawyers involved. There's kids involved. There's Marriage Story was structured different than the way this was structured different. And for me, I didn't like it. What can I say?
But it's going to come down to JPO. What do you say about Before Midnight?
It is definitely my least favorite of the three because the first two is very like charming and hopeful, and then this one is like life can also kind of suck, and maybe we're gonna get divorced. But
that's
it also is, I think,
honest.
being honest. No, and that's what I'm saying. And I do like this movie, and I'm giving it a yes at the end. But I'm just saying, like, it is. Maybe just I like that spirit of the first two more. But no, this is honest. This is them older. You know what I mean? Like, I think, and I also thought it was kind of interesting and maybe a little polarizing too that they actually introduced like there's actually like other characters in this movie too. Like people get like there's that whole dinner scene and whatnot. So that was kind of interesting. Like there's more than just them in this movie. So yeah, it's still good, and I still want to see like I really hope we get a fourth. Like I kind of want to keep catching up with these characters every
What he did say though in some of the interviews of his movies that he's got recently, that he wants to see another trilogy where they're like growing old, like growing older, like
so wait. Wait even longer and then do another trilogy, like 60s,
of them as an older couple growing.
Maybe do
old.
maybe them as grandparents. That would
grandparents, be whatever. That's what he said.
I mean, we're getting in with Meet the Parents and Ben Stiller soon. So.
Yeah, we're getting a new one of that. Yeah, that's Can't wait for that.
Maybe not a whole another trilogy, but I would love a fourth one where it's like both of them are back in there, and then you get them like much older and they're grandparents now, and they're
just catch up with them every like decade plus every so. You know,
he was interviewed about it, and you could find the quotes of him answering the questions online. Yeah. It's he says now he thinks this is a trilogy. It's ended. That trilogy is over, but he wouldn't mind seeing another trilogy, the after trilogy, what he calls the after trilogy, where him and her are kind of living their lives and doing whatever they're doing after this trilogy.
That's weird. I believe that's what he thinks. That's weird. To like, I don't know if you can milk it another 3.
After sunrise, after sunset, after midnight.
After Greece.
After dinner, which is 5 p.m.
Well, you know, unrelated to this, I think it is actually a movie called After Midnight.
He's already passed the 9 years, by the way. So just so you know, for a fourth one, he's already passed the 9 years.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't feel like you had to be pinholed to that. That's why I was saying a decade later.
I just wanted to pass that on.
Yeah, no, I did. No, it would have happened by now technically, but I mean, we don't have to stay hold into that. I think.
But,
it's funny because I actually just picked up for the 50% off sale the Tales of Four Seasons. And reading everything about these, it sounds just like a French version of the Before trilogy, just with 4 movies and such, and it's like different stories and such, and it's like the vibe of it, which is interesting.
Yeah, but it's background to me, and I'm going to try for this. I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm going to try. It's another relatively recent one, but it's another animated one too. But I'm going to go for Apollo 10.5. It's another one of those movies that I don't think it's got talked about as often. In my opinion, it should have been in the Best Animated Feature Oscar that year. But I think it's a really fun sort of space exploration movie. And it also, like, Glenn Powell's also in this as well. I think it's a really fascinating story, but it's set around the space exploration, and then, and I think it's just good. But Dan, what do you say about Apollo 10.5?
No, I mean, I think it was one of those animated movies that year that people were it was kind of like under the radar, because Netflix had so many players that year, and it came out so early. It came out like in March. It premiered at the South by Southwest Film Festival, and people like, anybody seen this 10.5, Apollo 10.5? This is a pretty freaking good movie. And it was a really good movie, you know, and I really liked it a lot. I just have a few more on the list that are higher than that. And so for me, it would be a no. But if these guys vote for it, hey, good for you, Malcolm, because I think it's a good movie and it's a very good animated movie. Netflix had their hands full that year with animated feature contenders.
But JPO, what do you say about Apollo 10.5?
The blind spot for me, unfortunately, I haven't seen it.
Wolf, what do you say about Apollo 10.5?
Yeah, this is going to be recency bias because I actually watched it for the first time today to get ready for this because I missed it when it came out that year. And I knew I wanted to see it because I've heard all this really great stuff about it. And yeah, this was really good. This was a really fascinating movie. This was a very, even though I never lived in this time period, this made me feel nostalgic for another person's nostalgia, which is like interesting. And I really thought that was, I thought that was really fascinating. Just looking at the life in the 60s, you going through all the shows that y'all had, going through, you know, what it was like to have to move the antennas and such, because like the cable networks weren't working and you only had 3 channels and all the other stuff like that they would go through. And I thought this is a beautiful look at that. And also, as someone who is big into aviation, big into space stuff, I thought it was really cool to explore you know, the moon landing, but through like a kid's perspective, and you know, a kid who wants to be an astronaut and what that would have been like if a kid was able to have been on the moon. I thought that was really great as well. So for me, this movie would be a definite yes. But I also want to say, because I checked the letterbox right after I was on this movie, and Malcolm, you gave it a 3 out of 5. Okay, so like you're over here, you know, praising it.
God, you're really judging his letterbox.
I know. I'm just giving pretending. I'm just giving you shit. I don't care, but it's really great. Just
At least he rated it. Am I right, everybody?
He did rate it at least, but you know.
As I see, some movies are just performing on stage rating things.
I got you. It's great.
But Dan, you go to next one.
Yeah.
The next movie you're gonna bring up.
I'm gonna bring up one that I really like a lot. That I'm sure a bunch of you guys probably haven't seen yet. It's called Me and Orson Welles. Just a story about this kid who ends up in this play, and in the play, it's like who's directing the play or who's involved with the play in this little playhouse is Orson Welles. And the guy that plays Orson Welles, for the life of me, Christian, I think it's Christian somebody or other. I've seen him pop up in other movies and TV shows and stuff like that. But Christian McKay. He hasn't been in a lot of stuff, but he just knocks this role of Orson Welles out of the park in this movie. And when I saw this, I was like, wow, what a freaking good movie. This guy deserves a supporting actor nomination or something like that for this movie. And because look, we all have our opinions of what some of our great filmmakers are like. We were never there for when they were alive, you know, so we don't know what they were really like. And this movie really gives you a kind of inside look of the type of person Orson Welles was and stuff. He was so flamboyant and he was out there and stuff. So I'm sure most of you guys probably haven't seen this one, but I just wanted to bring it up because I like it so much, and that's Me and Orson Welles.
But JPO, what do you say about Me and Orson Welles?
Hey, Malcolm, want to know something funny? Pretty sure I saw this, but I don't have it rated on Letterboxd. Well, hold on. Actually, I do want to look at something real quick. What year was this?
2008.
Right.
Let me check Letterboxd as well.
Okay, that tracks, because I swear. So I was Letterboxd before Letterboxing was a thing. I was literally keeping daily tracks. And so I retroactively put that in Letterboxd. But there's like a 2006, 2008 gap that I'm missing shit where I'm like, I know I saw Speed Racer, but it's not listed. Like, I missed. So, anyhow, I think this is one of those, because I swear to God, I've seen this, and I liked it, so it was on the cusp. But hey, Dan, remember you said I'd have to have you back? I got your back. It's a yes.
Oh, good for you. Oh, thank you.
No, McKay really is good at this. Yeah, and he's done other things, Theory of Everything, and like Tinker Tailor, but he's never had like another big meaty like role, I feel. Yeah.
Wolf, what do you say about Me and Orson Welles?
So yeah, this one is also interesting because, like, if neither of his new movies would be able to make the list, like, I've not seen Me and Orson Welles, but like I'm looking at some of his other filmography here, and you know, he's got some really good movies. Well, I mean, we brought up his best movies, but he's got still some solid movies that we're gonna talk about here. But he's also got some like not so great stuff, and like I don't want to a world where one of his not so good things ends up making this list. So this sight unseen, because I've not seen it yet, I would think I would still be willing to put it on this list. Just in the case because it sounds like something I would be really into. And also, again, there's some of the movies that we haven't talked about that I just don't feel are worthy of like a top 12 Linklater. So
and I just haven't got around to seeing it. I've heard it a bit. I've heard about it a few times. But if we ever eventually do a top 12 Zac Efron movies for ranking, I'll probably watch it then.
That's right. He's the kid. Zac Efron's the kid. I forgot about that.
He's a titular me.
Funny enough, it's Zac Efron's 2008 was interesting because he had High School Musical 3 in the same year as me and Orson Welles. But it's going to make the list. But JPO, what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
Yeah. So when you said Glenn Powell and him, I didn't know there's actually like 2 more movies that on top of what I'm going to mention that he still actually counts for. But I'm going to go Everybody Wants Some, the basketball film that he made. And Ryan Russell's kind of a standout in this one as well. Again, not my super favorite, but I think still a pretty solid film. And of what's left, I think belongs in this 12. So Everybody Wants Some. Let's see if y'all want some or not.
Wolf, do you want some?
I definitely want some. I think that
take some.
I think that this is a really fun kind of spiritual sequel to Dazed and Confused in a way, where it's just like it has that same vibe. Very much so, Dazed and Confused is like a vibe movie where it's all just about the vibes, and I feel like Everybody Wants Some is kind of the same way. You know, that was in that culture, and it's just a really fun kind of good time about just like holding on to being young and holding on to your youth, and it's really really great. So and the whole cast is really great here. Glenn Powell, he's good. Wyatt Russell, aka me, because some people say I look like Wyatt Russell, but he's really good here. And then like Zoe Deutsch, she's really good. So yeah, the whole cast is really does a good job. It's a really great ensemble piece. So sure, I'll say Everybody Wants Some.
Dude, put on a little bit of weight. There's your stuntman job.
Put on a little bit of weight and what?
You could be a stuntman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go. That would work perfect.
You're welcome. I get 10% now.
You see the title wrong, Wolf. It's Everybody Wants Some.
Yeah.
Don't forget the explanation.
Come get some. Everybody wants it. Come get some.
You're not allowed to talk about Darren Aronofsky's mother. You have to say Darren Aronofsky's mother.
But yeah. Similar. Before someone wants to give me shit for this, similar to Dazed and Confused, it's a movie I've watched and logged on Letterboxd, but not rated.
Yeah, man.
But also similar to Dazed and Confused, I'm not a big fan of this either. I think it's fine. Like as though these kind of movies sometimes they work for me, sometimes they don't. This one, but also I'm going to give it a slight yes, just because I've seen it, and so yeah. But Dan, what do you say about Everybody Wants Some?
Yeah, I really like Everybody Wants Some. You know, I love I'm a sports guy, so a movie about baseball, you know, but it's also about college life and stuff like that. So it's kind of it was really good. It just felt like it was like a movie about something that Richard Linklater really cared about. You know, it was something that he wanted to make because it was like a passion project for him about something that he grew up with in his life, or something that was part of his life growing up. Or Matthew McConaughey or one of those guys, because he kind of collaborates with a bunch of those guys, and they help write scripts and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if this had something to do with McConaughey or some way, or his relationship at Austin, in Austin, Texas, and when they were younger and stuff like that. You know, because I look at the colors of the team and I look at the school and I'm like, this seems like something it would be about his youth, like early 20s, late teens, early 20s kind of story, you know. But yeah, I really did like it. I thought it was really good. So yeah, if I didn't pick me and Orson Welles, I was going to pick this one. So it was a good pick on your part, JPO.
Perfect. Everybody wants something is going to make the list. We've got 2 spots left. Wolf, what are you going to bring up? You're muted.
Muted.
We have 1 spot left, Malcolm.
1 spot
We have
left.
1 spot.
Yeah, it's 11.
Oh, yeah, 1 spot left. Also, Wolf, you muted.
I did not know I was muted the whole time. I thought it was okay. There we
So
go.
I'm sorry for whatever monologue you was inside.
I pulled a Malcolm without even knowing it. So yeah. But the one I'll bring up, you know, Malcolm did this and earlier with like Where'd You Go, Bernadette, and Waking Life, where he brought up a film that probably is not going to make the list, but I just want to give it a shout out and talk about it because I've already had several of my movies make the list, so I'm already happy. But I did want to give a shout out to Blue Moon. I really wanted to talk about this movie and make that the next one to talk about because this is, to me, absolutely one of the best. It's in my top 10 movies I've seen this year so far. I thought it was really stunning. This was a movie that I really had no idea about Loren's heart because, you know, all you really know of is you know, Richard Rodgers and Oscar Hammerstein, but you don't really know anything about Loren's heart, really. And I thought this was a really fascinating look into his life. And this is also one of those kind of one location movies, you know, like what JPO was talking about. It's a movie that's like literally just set in this bar in this location, but like you are riveted throughout the entire runtime. And talk about a great performance from Ethan Hawke. This might be the career best performance that he has given. This might be the greatest performance of his career. And I know they did stuff to make him shorter, but just the acting and the expression that he has to convey as someone who, I don't want to give it away too much, but he is just, he really will melt your heart with this role. And I thought he did an exceptional job. And Mario Qualley did great. Bob Cannavale, and my boy Andrew Scott is also a standout in this. He really steals some of the scenes that he's in. And this is maybe my favorite screenplay of the year too. Like in terms of writing, just the way just the dialogue is sharp and it's very witty and just and really just strong overall. Like nothing super impressive directing wise, because like I said, it's a one location type of movie. But when it comes to the screenplay, and this is like this was written by someone else, and this is like his first screenplay he ever did, which is kind of crazy because it's written super well and acted superbly. So Blue Moon definitely is one I'm gonna give a shout out to.
I'm going to do the inside. No, actually, I've already made that joke earlier today anyway. But yeah, I haven't seen Blue Moon. It hasn't released in New Zealand yet. It probably won't come out until at least January, February next year. So yeah. Dan, what do you say about Blue Moon?
Yeah, I absolutely love Blue Moon. Ethan Hawke gives an Oscar-worthy performance. this year as Lorenz Hart. He's just every word out of his mouth is like a knife cutting through a cake or vegetables or whatever. It's like he just gives you such great dialogue. I mean, he's witty. His banter with his friends at the bar, Bobby Cannavale. He's trying to hit on Margaret Qualley, and and she's like half his age. But he's starting to figure out where his place is in Hollywood, and it's for him. It's kind of a sad, bittersweet kind of story in a way. Even though it's set in this one location, we learn a lot about the characters and the people in the movie, and him specifically. It's he's incredible. He's absolutely incredible. Ethan Hawke is. I'd love to see him get an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor for this. I say yes, but I know the others haven't seen it. So,
but maybe Jordan or JPO could throw us a bone, like I did for a few other things, and put this through, even not seeing it yet.
JPO, I know you haven't seen Blue Moon again for Wolf a Bone.
You're muted. You're muted.
Also, you're muted this time.
Now he's pulling me.
Actually, I think maybe his headset might have got disconnected or something.
Hey.
All right, I'm here. All right, I'm here.
Yep, you're good.
Yeah, all right. So no, I haven't seen it. Unfortunately, I do want to. I like the trailer. I've also become like a decent Ethan Hawke fan these last few years, like more so than even used to. So I've heard he's nothing but good. And yeah, also because one, I like to throw bones, and also I would say the last thing I would mention, I'm not like that particularly high on. I'd be very shocked to think like I won't like this more potentially. So yeah, let's go for it. I'll go give it a yes.
Yay.
If that Blue Moon is going to make the list, and that closes out the list. But yeah, talk about some of mentions. For me, the only one that I've seen that I was going to bring up next is A Skin of Darkly. That would have been my next nomination.
Yeah.
But Dan, did you have any honorable mentions?
Yeah, I would have just for the fun of it brought up Nouvelle Vague because I just absolutely love that movie. I think it's an incredible movie. I hope it makes the list this year for international feature. Neon has got. It seems like they got that category on lockdown this year. Hopefully, somehow Netflix can sneak Nouvelle Vague or Left-Handed Girl in there. This movie is phenomenal. If you're a fan of Jean-Luc Godard, you need to see this movie. It's a movie about the making of his masterpiece, Breathless. The guy that plays Jean-Luc Godard is phenomenal. But it's Linklater's way of making the movie in the style of a Godard movie that is just an absolute chef's kiss. I mean, it's incredible. I cannot say enough about how amazing Nouvelle Vague is. It just shows you how much Linklater really loves film, the French New Wave, Godard, and just people. I heard this thing. I don't want to go on too much, Malcolm. People said, "Oh, well, why does he have the right to make a movie about Godard and the French New Wave?" What? So because he loves something doesn't mean he can't make a movie of it because he's not French. He's not French. Yeah. Give me a break. Anybody can make a movie about anything.
That's like saying Wim Wenders should not have made Perfect Days because he actually isn't
not Japanese. A janitor. He's not a janitor.
Well, and he's not. And Wim Wenders is German. He's
Japanese. He's not Japanese or whatever. Yeah, it's a bunch of bull.
How dare Soderbergh make that movie he made earlier this year? He's never had a ghost live in his house. He shouldn't make movies about ghosts when he's never had a ghost.
Yeah. I don't know. Stan Lie, they want to give Linklater a hard time about that. I thought it's a.
I think that's a vocal minority. I hope.
I hope so too, because this is a masterpiece of a film. JPO, I cannot recommend it to you enough. It's all in subtitles.
I like both.
Yeah, it's all in subtitles, but the cinematography. Oh my God, just gorgeous. So I just wanted to say bring up Nouvelle Vague because I love it so much. Sorry, Malcolm.
For those wondering what Nouvelle Vague is, it drops on Netflix this week. Also, I will say, if you told me you kept on saying that director's name, I thought you were saying Jean-Luc Picard. I was like, wait, it's about Patrick
Oh yeah, I watched
Stewart.
Jean-Luc Picard movie.
Jean-Luc Godard. He did Breathless. And you know what? You want to do a double feature? Do Breathless and do this as a back-to-back.
I'm gonna be doing that because the first time I watched Nouvelle Vague, I didn't watch Breathless. I didn't really know the history there, so I'm gonna watch.
I had already watched it years ago,
Yeah.
but I didn't watch it ahead of time. So I'm gonna go back and watch Breathless myself as well.
So now I'm gonna go see Breathless this week for the first time, and then go back and watch Nouvelle Vague again, just so I can have that.
Anyway, JPO, did you have any honorable mentions?
You know, the only other weird thing I was going to bring up, I actually talked about months ago just because I like the cast, and I didn't even realize it was a Linklater film. I thought Suburbia had its moments. Not the greatest, kind of a little bit of a 90s meandering movie, but again, really good cast here. Again, kind of like you have Days of Confused. You can almost be like, wait a few years, or as in time frame, and then watch Suburbia. Not as good, but I thought it was an interesting enough flick.
Yeah, I mean, when I was going through his filmography when I was making my letterbox list for this, like there's a couple that I didn't realize was Linklater movies until I saw it. Like, and that's Bad News Bears and Fast Food Nations. I haven't seen either, but like I did not think they were Linklater movies when I first heard about them. But I think it's time to
Wait, don't I get to give some honorable mentions?
Wolf, did you have any honorable mentions?
No, you're right. Some of my honorable mentions are going to be some of the ones I've already mentioned, which is Scanner Darkly and Nouvelle Vague. Excited for people to check that out this weekend on Netflix. But another one I would probably give a shout out to is Slacker. Like, it's, again, not the greatest movie out there, but it's also kind of like a 90s kind of meandering movie like they talked about, but it's fun. It's definitely got its kind of Dazed and Confused vibe to it. You know, it's got, again, that kind of just let loose kind of 90s vibes. So Slacker is probably one I would also give a shout out to if I could.
Yeah, and the couple that came up in the chat, we've got the Newton Boys and Tape.
Hey, I knew Tape would be mentioned.
Yeah, there you
go. But that's time to rank the movies we've got here. The movies we've got on this list, we've got Boyhood, Before Sunset, School of Rock, Hitman, Days of Confused, Bernie, Before Sunrise, Last Day Flying, Before Midnight, Me and Orson Welles, Everybody Wants Some, and Blue Moon. Dan, what movie do you have for number 12?
Hold on a sec. Let me write it down. Sorry. I'm an idiot. I'm writing wrong. I apologize for taking your time up, guys. Before Midnight. I got Before Midnight.
JPO, what do you have for number 12?
Blue Moon.
Wolf, what do you have for number 12?
I got it on the list, JPO, but I'll say Last Flag Flying. Yeah.
And I've got Dazed and Confused. So we're going to go to the chat. We've got Dazed and Confused, Last Flag Flying, Blue Moon, and Before Midnight. The first comment I see, which I probably most likely, oh no, there's actually two people in the chat. And it's both Brian and Lev that both said Blue Moon. So Blue Moon is going to be at number 12.
Dang. All right. They probably haven't seen Blue Moon either, so that's probably.
Well, I'm almost certain Brian probably hasn't seen it. Leo is kind of an enigma. I don't know if he's seen it or not.
Yeah.
But JP, what do you have for 11?
Me and Orson Welles.
Wolf, what do you have for 11?
I'm gonna keep what I had. I don't
you
know
can
why.
you can.
Yeah, I don't know why I literally erased it, but Last Flag Flying. Yeah,
I'm sick of Dazed and Confused. And
Before Midnight.
Man.
What'd you say again, JPO? Oh,
Me and
I
Orson
remember.
Welles. You said me and Orson
Yeah,
Welles.
well,
Yeah. So we've got me and Orson Welles, and I don't have to go through all that because they've already come through. And Brian was the first one in, and it's going to be me and Orson Welles.
Nice.
But Wolf, what do you have for 10?
Last Flag Flying.
Thank you if Days are confused. Dan.
I'm gonna switch to Last Flag Flying. I haven't gotten it. I can write it down if you want me to.
Yeah, don't worry. JPO, what do you have for 10?
everybody wants them.
But it's going to be Last Flag Flying. But I'm sticking with Days are confused. Dan, what do you have for number 9?
I have Everybody Wants Some right here. See it?
JPO.
Everybody wants them.
Wolf.
Well, I guess not everybody wants some because I also have Everybody Wants Some.
But Everybody Wants Some is going to be at number 9. But Dan, what do you have for 8?
Before Midnight.
JPO.
Sorry. Everybody wants them. Was that okay? Bernie.
Wolf, what do you have for 8?
I have Hitman.
Sticking with Days Confused. So we've got Days Confused, Before Midnight, Hitman, and Bernie. The first comment I see will decide what ends up at 8. And it
Bernie.
actually no.
Before Midnight. Good job, Leo.
Yeah,
Logan.
Wow.
I almost missed Leo's comment there, but Before Midnight is going to be at
Good job,
8.
Leo.
Okay. Surprise.
Good job, Leo.
Wolf, what do you have for 7?
I'm sticking with Hitman. That's 7.
Sticking with Days Confused. Dan.
I'm gonna go with Dazed and Confused.
JPO.
Bernie.
But it's going to be Dazed and Confused, which I'm a little bit surprised about because I thought I was going to be holding on to that for a long
Yeah, I know. That's actually my second favorite Linklater. So
Not mine. Not mine. I like Bernie more. You'll never hear me vote for Bernie.
Yeah.
Just so
What do we got? Yeah,
I was getting it.
I should have known, Malcolm. I should have known. I knew it.
So we've got left on the list. We've got Boyhood, Before Sunset, School of Rock, Hitman, Bernie, and Before Sunrise. But for number 6, I'm going Bernie. Dan.
Yeah, I think 6 is a good spot for Bernie. I take that. I take back those words. I think 6 is a good spot for Bernie, so I'm going to do Bernie.
JPO.
Yeah, Bernie.
And Wolf.
I'm sticking with Hitman.
But Bernie is going to be at 6. But Dan, what do you have for number 5?
Hitman.
JPO, what do you have for number 5?
I have Hitman.
Wolf.
Well, the thing is, I would have actually put Hitman probably at 6 and Bernie at 5, but that's okay. I'll do Hitman still. So it's fine.
And I'm still a lot. But Hitman will be at number 5. But JPO, what do you have for number 4?
Boyhood.
Wolf, what do you have for number 4?
It's too long to write out. I'll do Before Sunset.
Sorry, too long to write out. Didn't make the list. But you put Before Sunset.
Yeah.
Right. For me, I went School of Rock.
I had School Rock.
So School of Rock is going to end up at number 4.
Yeah, it's my number 1, but I'm definitely can understand why it's number 4.
I won't understand. I refuse to understand.
But Wolf, what do you have for number 3?
I'm sticking with Before Sunset.
I also went Before Sunset.
Before Sunrise.
JPO.
Boyhood.
But Before Sunset is going to be at number 3. But we're going to go down to voting for our number 1s between Boyhood and Before Sunrise, which should end up being interesting to see how this goes. But Dan, what do you have for number 1?
Number 1 is Boyhood.
JPO, what do you have for number 1?
I'll meet you at the train station, Malcolm. Before Sunrise.
Wolf, what do you have for number 1?
Oh man, it's tough between the two, but I'm going to go with Before Sunrise.
And Before Sunrise.
Nice.
So Before Sunrise is going to be at number 1, and Boyhood is going to be at number 2.
Nice.
I will say for a second there, I thought it was going to end up being a battle between Sunrise and Sunset for number 1.
Sunrise, sunset.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised Boyhood is at 2, but I'm very happy because it definitely deserves.
Yeah, I feel like that movie somehow has now become underrated. I feel like people try to like poo-poo it later on, which is weird.
Yeah.
But, but
it should have been higher than 4. Come on, guys.
Oh yeah. No, I'm
Have a little heart.
Come on.
it made the top 5.
I know. I'm nitpicking, I suppose.
But our top 12 Richard Linklater movies. At number 12, we've got Blue Moon. At 11, we got Me and Orson Welles. At 10, we got Last Flag Flying. At 9, we got Everybody Wants Some. At 8, we got Before Midnight. At 7, we got Dazed and Confused. At 6, we got Bernie. At 5, we got Hitman. At 4, we got School of Rock. At 3, we got Before Sunset. At 2, we got Boyhood. And number 1 is Before Sunrise. But that is the end of ranking for this week. We talked a lot about highbrow movies this week. Next week, we're continuing the trend of talking about highbrow movies because we're going to be ranking the Predator franchise.
Those are highbrow movies. What are you talking about? There's a lot of highbrow. You're telling me The Predator isn't, artistic?
It is a joke.
Yeah.
We know.
I know. Mine was a joke too. But yeah, it's.
Well, he knows, and you know he knows that you know that he knew, and I know you know that he knows that you know. You know?
Yeah, I know. But do you know?
But with that being said, there's the information for this week. Dan, we can be with you online.
Oh, you can find me under my name, Dan Skip Allen, on all the socials: Facebook, Twitter, or X, or whatever, Letterboxd, Threads, Blue Sky, Instagram, all the socials under my name. Also, you can find me at FromTheFourthRow.com, where I am the owner, editor-in-chief, and head film critic. And we got a lot of good articles. Just posted a review while we're on air tonight. In Your Dreams, a new animated film from Netflix. So there. And there's
also
a lot of
really
really good.
Friday too. In Your Dreams,
In Your Dreams is coming out soon from Netflix. But yeah, I'm over on the Chasing Labels channel, where I do a semi-weekly show called Movies Down Memory Lane, which is we did an episode last night of Perks of Being a Wallflower. That's a really good show about me and my buddies just talk about the movies that mean a lot to us as we've grown up in our lives and currently in our lives and so forth. So, and they got a new game show that's premiering next week called Movie Mutations. Go over there and give them a watch, give them a support. It's a fun game we've been working on for a couple of years now. So give them. Also, I'm over on the Movie Hero Network every once in a while whenever Jordan needs someone to pitch hit. So I pinch hit sometimes and help out and pop up in there sometimes. So yeah.
JPO, we can be on you online.
Me? When I'm not popping up on this, you can find me over at The Periscope. We talk lots of movies. We do anything from drafts to lots of trivia. I host a show sometimes called Rank It. It's totally different. We have a discussion of 12 movies that we all have to agree on. It's totally different, guys. And then sometimes I do bracket battles. It's like tournament fights, but not, because it's bracket battles and it's shorter. Let's see here. I also do there will be trivia like Henry's, but I did call mine There Will Be Quizzes. See, my new gimmick is I just steal everyone else's shows. Countdown. That's the top 10 with John Roca. Stole that. It's my new gimmick. I love it. I'm gonna steal Wolfman's drinking thing. I'm gonna probably start calling that something. So yeah, it's what I do now. You can find my website from thefifthrow.com. I'm the owner and distributor of that. And then speaking of that, 9:40. 9:45, we're doing trivia over in the Periscope. 10:30, I'm on Eric and Noel's channel. We're going to talk some 2025 releases. And Movie Hero Network. Lonely Marks on Thursdays. We got Why We Love Horror. We got Multiplex. And let me say E.T. and they want E.T. the extraterrestrial. But that's besides the point. Thanks for having me.
Coming down to Fort Myers. I'm coming to get you at Fort Myers.
Yeah. Only a few hours away. Come on. We'll see a movie.
4 hours, yeah.
But Wolf, we can be on you online.
Yeah, you guys can find me on my YouTube channel. Here's the thing where I'm going to be doing a lot of awards coverage on there soon, because every week now it's going to be a new awards roundtable episode as we're going through now all the way up to the month of March, talking all things Oscars and all that stuff, and leading up to that, but also talking about some of the other award shows. So that should be a fun episode. We're already planning some stuff ahead for the holidays, getting some holiday themed videos planned, like a debate show I wanted to do on there called Is It a Christmas Movie, where we were going to take like Christmas adjacent films and make a whole debate on if it is or if it isn't, and then the best argument is the deciding factor, basically. So that should be pretty fun. And I've got some more reviews coming. I just watched a screener not too long ago for a Palestine drama called All That's Left of You. So I'm going to be doing a review of that, which was, really blew me away. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, I have a lot more videos planned. We're doing our Stranger Things coverage, where we're going through every season. We're doing like breakdown of all the seasons, going through all the episodes, breaking it down in spoiler fashion, leading up to season 5, and then once season 5 drops, we're basically gonna cover each episode or each pair of episodes as they drop them. So definitely should be a fun time, guys. And we're actually going to probably do one tonight, even after this. So stay tuned for that. We're covering season 3, so join us live for that. So that's where we're going.
And you can find me on TV Productions as host, Rankin, every week. Next week we're going to be talking about the Predator franchise. You can also find me on my own channel, Malcolm's Video of Media, hosting Spear from the Past. Quite often, next episode will be tomorrow, actually, at 7 p.m. Eastern, and I'll be on with Matt Majo. We're going to be talking about WrestleMania 12, which should be an interesting discussion. And I pop up here and there on the Movie Hero Network. I'm pretty sure I'm on Fantasy Movies 2 this week. Jordan hasn't made the group yet, so I'm not too sure. But you can also, I'm here and there and pop up whenever I'm needed, pretty much. But yeah, and an idea if you want to steal the monthly drinking game, Jordan, the monthly movie win and not mistake.
Yeah. There you go. Serious
But
discussions.
that is the end of rank for this week. I will see you all next week.
Goodbye.